Hello, and welcome back to the General Engineering Masterclass, only here in Udemy. Today is the first episode for the series Probability and Statistics in Engineering. Before we start, be sure that you have the following in your table: calculator, pen and paper, timer or smartphone. That's because at the beginning of each lesson, we are going to have a quiz. That's right, you're gonna solve some problems before each lesson so you could see how much you remember or how much you already know about the topic that we are gonna discuss today. And today, our topic would be Venn diagrams. So, are you ready? Get your pen and paper, set your timer, and pause the video in 1, 2, 3. And we are back. So now we are going to solve the first problem. So we are given that there are a total of 40 students in the class, and 27 of them like physics, 25 of them like chemistry, and 2 students like neither physics nor chemistry, which means they hate both physics and chemistry. So what we need to find is the number of students who like physics but not chemistry. So how do we solve this problem? As you might have guessed from the title of our lesson, the way to attack this problem is by using Venn diagrams. So how do we make Venn diagrams? So let's start by making a rectangle, and this rectangle represents the universal set. And now we are going to make a circle, and this circle right here represents the students who like physics. And another circle represents the students who like chemistry. Since we do not know the number of students who like both physics and chemistry, we do not know how many students are in the overlap, we will denote this as X. And that is an important trick in Venn diagrams. You start normally from the intersection between the two sets. If that intersection is unknown, then you label this as a variable. Okay, I have mentioned earlier that the total area of this circle is 27. Since this area right here, the intersection is X, so the area of this part must be 27 minus X. In the same way, for this area right here, the people who like chemistry, it must be 25 minus X. And don't forget that it was mentioned that there are 2 students who like neither physics nor chemistry. So where do we put the 2 students here? It's actually outside both circles because they don't like both physics and chemistry. So now we have completed our Venn diagram. We have used all the information except this one. We know that the total number of students is 40. So all we need to do is add up all the terms in the Venn diagram and equate it to 40. So we can set up the equation like this: 27 minus x plus x plus 25 minus x plus 2 equals 40. This one are the students who like physics only. This one likes both physics and chemistry. This one likes chemistry only. And this one are the 2 people who don't like both physics and chemistry. And the total number of people in the class is 40. So with that, we can find the value of x. So we will just type in the equation that we have just written. And shift calc equals. So now we see that x equals 14. But the question is, how many students like physics but not chemistry? So where is that in the Venn diagram? It's actually here. This region is the number of students who like physics, but they don't like chemistry. So we just need to find the value of 27 minus x, and that is equal to 13. Therefore, the answer to this question is letter C. There are 13 students who like physics but not chemistry. Alright? Let us now proceed to question number 2. So this time we have an ice cream company who surveyed a total of 1,000 persons to analyze their flavor preference. So each of those respondents, they mentioned what flavors they like, and we have the results like this. Now, how do we make a Venn diagram out of this? So let's start by making our universal set. And within this set, we have 3 flavors. We have vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. So let's label this so that we'll not get confused later. So, as I've mentioned previously, the trick to solving Venn diagram problems is to start with the intersection. Do we know the value for the intersection between V, C, and S? Apparently, we don't have the value for that because that is what is asked in the problem. We are asked how many respondents like all 3 flavors. So we will denote these overlap here as X. So what other information can we put here? We have V only is 200, so that means here is 200, and then C only is 150, so we can put 150 right here, and S only is 100, and we know that V and C is 225. That means the area in this region is 225. But since we know that this part is X, we can see that this part must be 225 minus X. In the same way, we know that V and S is 175, so this part, this one is 175. This region must be 175 minus X. It's 125, so it's 125 minus X. And we also have the fact that outside these 3 circles, we have 125 persons. Alright, so now the Venn diagram is complete. We can now use the fact that there are a total of 1,000 persons in this survey. So just like in the previous question, we will just add up all the terms here. This is basically just adding all the terms that we have in the Venn diagram. Equals 1,000. So we got X equals 50. And what we are asked is how many respondents like all 3 flavors. So the answer to this question is the value of X, which is 50. Therefore, the correct answer to this problem is letter B. Now let's move on to the third problem. Suppose that in a certain class, the probability of getting a passing mark for math and chemistry is 4/7 and 5/7 respectively. If 2 students failed both subjects and there were 10 students who passed both subjects, how many students passed math but failed in chemistry? So as you can notice, one thing that's different in this problem from the previous ones is that we do not have the total number of students in the class. So because of that, we will let X be the total number of students in the class. Now we are given the probability of getting a passing mark for math, which is 4/7. That means for every 7 students, 4 are going to pass mathematics. So if X is the total number of students in the class, then the number of students who will pass math is 4/7x. In the same way, the number of students who will pass chemistry is 5/7x. As I have mentioned, it's always recommended to start at the intersection. And from the problem, we know that there were 10 students who passed both subjects. So in the overlap in the Venn diagram, we can write 10 here. And we know that this total circle right here is 4/7x. And since the overlap is 10, we can write this as 4/7x minus 10. In the same way, here we can write 5/7x minus 10. And we still have another information that we have not included. It is mentioned that there are 2 students who failed both subjects. So where is that in the Venn diagram? They are actually here, because this region here are the people who passed at least one subject. So outside the 2 circles, those are the people that didn't pass any subject. Now in some problems, if they don't mention the number of students outside the circles, then you just assume that it's 0. So now our Venn diagram is complete. Now we can add all the components and sum it up to get the total number of students, which is x. So that would be 4/7x minus 10 plus 10 plus 5/7x minus 10 plus 2 equals x. So in this equation, this part here are the number of students who just passed math only. This one, the students who passed both subjects. This one, the students who only passed chemistry. These are the students who failed both subjects, and the total number is x. And using our calculator and shift calc equals, now we get x equals 28. Therefore, there are 28 students in the class. But what we are looking for is the number of students who passed math but failed in chemistry. And where is that in the Venn diagram? It's actually right here, 4/7x minus 10. We just substitute the value of x and we get 6. So there are 6 students who passed math but failed in chemistry. Therefore, the answer to this question is letter B. To check your understanding, we invite you to take the quiz. Congratulations! You have successfully completed another episode. See you in the next lesson.